Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to all of you here in the room and those online that are listening. Great crowd. Thank you, WeWork, for hosting us and this opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Martin, NYU, for our collaboration. So those of you, everybody's heard of WeWork, right, and Cushman & Wakefield, but not many people have heard of Intellibus. So I'll take this moment to just kind of familiarize you with what it is. And I'm going to go back to what Steve Jobs said when somebody asked about Apple, saying, what is this company all about? So when we started Intellibus, that was the first question in my mind. What do we value? And what is our core value? And I was an engineer at heart. When I was a kid, I would break every toy that I ever got within like 5 minutes. So my uncle got really smart, and he gave me a soccer ball, which we call football in India. And I was frustrated because I just couldn't break it. And I tried every possible way. I'd throw it against the wall. In the evening, when he came back, the soccer ball was flat. And I'd said, because I had punctured it with a wire, and had figured out how to break it. And that's what engineers do. We break things, but we also make things. And so very deeply, I, as a person, value great engineers and great engineering. And I've been very, very fortunate to amass a whole bunch of people, which now we call Intellibus, a community of people that value great engineers and great engineering. And Dinesh and I had an interesting conversation yesterday, who you'll hear from shortly. Dinesh is the co-founder of Tinder. He's here in the room with us, on what is a test of great engineering. And we'll leave that for Dinesh to maybe talk about. But importantly, Intellibus has grown. We're just a small, I was literally grew out of NYU in some sense. I was teaching at NYU, and we became suddenly a 100-people company and growing. And right now, we're one of the top 100 fastest growing AI software companies in the US, thanks to a lot of the community that we've built. And WeWork came to us at a great time. We were really looking to up this conversation on how do we really think about AI. And that's why the series is called Future of AI, but it's really about talking about AI. And what's the conversation really going to have, and why should we even have this conversation in the first place? And is this another one of those many AI events that you're going to go to? I promise you not. And I promise you this conversation goes way beyond these 1,000 people in the room right now, or digitally here right now. And for 3 reasons. Because 3 things that I deeply care about, and not to tell you that you should, but I think you will once I tell you what those 3 things are. I deeply care about the digital me, which is the digital you. Every website you ever signed up on in your life, there's a part of you that lives there, and you have no control over it. And in the world of AI, the AI is going to own you. I'm not a scaremonger. I'm an AI believer. I want AI to move things fast, but I want to recognize that there's a part of me that I don't own anymore, the digital me. The second piece of it is half-life. I think I'm only living half my life, and only to half of my potential. I could be twice as much, maybe thrice as much. And what does that mean? How often have we filled the same information on a form, on a piece of paper, online, on some website, over and over and over? How often have we repeated ourselves the same thing over different WhatsApp groups and messages and chat and whatever else? How often have we shared the same photograph over and over 7 social media accounts? Because that's the way you get out there. It's the same people on the other side. We're living half our lives. How many of us, I'm going to ask a question. How many of us, and show of hands, you can't see it digitally, but those in the room, how many of us feel that they're in the right job? And if you're from WeWork, don't raise your hand, or do, however you prefer. How many of us think they're in the right job in their lives right now? Okay, I would have voted everybody, but good. That's part of the point. The point is that not often we feel that we're in the right place and living our true purpose. And to me, that's really the conversation. Yes, AI is an enabler, and it'd be a great enabler for us to have that conversation. How do we take control of our digital you? How do we live our full life? And how do we be in the right job? And it can't happen without community. So I'm so glad we're all here, and we're growing this community. And I truly, deeply wish that at one point, all 8 billion people can have this conversation together, and we are one big community. Because I was born and raised in India, and there's a term, they say, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That means all world is one family. And we can talk about family all day, but can we truly realize it in our hearts and open our hearts? So I would encourage all of us here to not think there's a bunch of speakers here, and we're just here to listen. We're here to participate. We're here to talk. Let's have that dialogue. Let's have that conversation. Let's open our hearts and have the conversation from our hearts. Let's keep our minds outside this room for a moment, because you can talk from your mind all day, but the truth lies in your heart. And that's what this conversation is all about to me personally. But of course, you'll hear from other speakers who will have their own lenses, and we'd love to get your lenses. And if we can all bring our hearts together and bind ourselves together, then we can truly harness the power of AI. And to me, the power of AI is not that we'd be walking here with bionic bodies. The power of AI is everyone can be a superhero. Everyone can biologically become better. How many of us have had an ailing person that was dying and we really wanted to save their life? If all the AI in the world is only going to create better videos, life sucks. So take a moment. And my humble request, as these conversations happen, keep those 3 lenses in your mind: the digital you, the half-life, and the right job. And test everything anybody says with those lenses. So with that, I'd like to invite our esteemed guest, Dinesh Moorjani, who I've had the great fortune of collaborating with, to talk about life in startups and AI.